at peace, ready for war.
You've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday. There was rugby. There was this. There was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this and let's engage in this. And I just don't. I can't do it. I just don't. People are talking to me, and in my head, I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life. Sequences and numbers. Nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
You know, I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said he has dedicated his life to his art, and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m., they would look at me and say, I've lost my mind. But me, I have found it almost.
Your lack of commitment is almost an insult to the people who believe in you. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself. I said, there's people who believe in me. So this is what I'm telling myself right now, today. There's people that believe in me. And me having this half commitment, it's not what the fuck I am. It's not what my people, it's not what the people who believe in me deserve. And I want to give back to the people who believe in me and give them that belief, and prove that belief correct. So that's where we're at now. And let's see where it goes.
What makes you such a good fighter?
I don't know. I'm just curious about it. I'm curious about it. It's never. I mean, it's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can think of. I don't think about nothing else. If and that's it. I'm just curious, curiously fascinated with it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with fighting. You know what I mean? And that is why. You know what I mean? To be true, all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a... That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do. And that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life. I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse. So I'm going to enjoy the benefits of this life. I'm going to get myself a big mansion in Las Vegas. I'm going to get the soft top cars. I'm going to bring my whole team out. I'm going to spoil them and give them this life. Big steaks, that size. We're eating every single night each. We're eating good. We're living good. It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is for sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, and go the other way. But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I have dedicated my life to. I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what MMA was. They didn't know what none of this. They didn't know I could make a career out of it. As far as they were concerned, my man Dan I'm talking about. As far as they were concerned, I was just getting into a cage and fighting with some other guy. They didn't know nothing about it. No one did really, but I knew. You know what I mean? I knew. But and then I ended up getting a trade just to keep them quiet. Because I used to have a lot of fights with me dad.
What trade did you get?
I ended up getting a trade as a plumber. Literally up in the back arse and nowhere up in the Wicklow Mountains. And funny enough, that site was one of the biggest sites in Europe, Kiltiernan. It was right at that skiing place. Huge. And now it's just abandoned. Now it's just deserted. So I used to go up there 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on that M50. I used to have to walk to the N4. About half an hour from your house, wait for some Limerick guy that I didn't even know. He'd drive on the M4 and had to flag him down. Nightmare. Yeah, 2 hours down on the M50, 2 hours back. Literally 14-hour days, and I was the first year, so I had to go and do everything. I had to go to the shop. I had to go and get this and get that. So I always had trouble with that. And I was like, this isn't for me. This is not for me.
How long did you last?
I lasted 18 months doing it. But it was tough, you know. It just it wasn't a life for me, you know what I mean? And then John said, because I was training with John as well at the time, and then John got in touch and says, I have a show, we're in a show, I'd like to fight on it. And then that was it. I just packed it in, didn't show up. My dad used to come in and punch the head on me and like try and drag me out of bed. And I just wouldn't go, you know what I mean? I had an uproar for a good few years with him over it. And that was it. I just packed it in, quit, and then focused on training. And I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There's a lot of stressful years, you know, a lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right. I cannot put one thing on it, John. I just love this life that I have created. I love this business. I do not. I enjoy work. I don't want to be anywhere else but here. So every day I am enjoying myself. I wake up every day. I pinch myself. You want to see the room I'm sleeping in. You want to see the bed I'm sleeping in. You want to see the home that I am living in. There's in the home. So I'm on the third floor and I go out, click the button, and it goes from the third floor to the fourth floor. I open up the elevator and I go and eat some breakfast, and then we go stretch out in the sun, and we have a big pool, a jacuzzi. Look, I'm just enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life, even before I had any kind of money or any of that. I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening right now. I still remain grateful, and more comes.
Somebody said to you, you'll have or you'll be as successful as you are now, what have you had said back then?
I believe you. That's what I would have said. Because I did believe.
Yes.
I believed in it. I had very few people who told me that. I had a small group of people that would tell me something like that. Other than that, it was just me telling myself.
Yep.
So if someone came up to me and told me that all the way back then, I'd say you're damn right.
I don't know how you do it. You seem immune to pressure. You got an entire nation on your shoulders, and you rise above it once again.
Yeah, I don't.
We're about to get started soon.
I picked around, John. Yeah, I said
We're
this.
about to
I'm
get
sure
started
you're
soon.
thinking in your head.
Please share
This
this
guy is
link out to your
talking
friends
absolute
and family.
dribble.
We're
He's
about
not
to
going
get
to do what he
started
says
really
he's going to
soon.
do. He's up to that. But now here we are again, and I done what I said I was going to do. I feed off this. I love this stuff. This is what gives me energy. Saying I'm going to do something, putting it out there for the world to see, and then going out and doing it. There's no better feeling in the world than that. And it's as easy as that. Say what you're going to do and go and do it. When you're chasing your dream and when you're working hard, chasing something you love and completely dedicated, it just happens. You can't really notice it. You know, even still to this day, I'm in an amazing position in my life, but I'm still working like I'm not. I'm still working like I'm not in this position.
Absolutely.
I'm still working like none of this is even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just something I love to do, and I just keep pushing. I keep working hard. I can't pinpoint an exact moment for you, but
Yep.
If anything, I always felt like it was happening way back then, and now it is happening, but now I almost feel like it's not happening. You know what I mean? And I want to push to something else.
Absolutely.
I'm always striving to push forward. So. You know, hard work pays. I put in a hell of a lot of work all throughout this build up in the fight. I put down more content than anybody, more content than Fox, more content than ESPN, more content than BT Sport, more content than everybody on the Mag Live on my own channels. You know what I mean? I'm a workhorse from all angles, not just in the gym. I'm building this media empire now myself, and we pumped out the content. I'm very proud of how it went. The consistently daily movies I was releasing, you know, from like a month ago, every single day. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm very like the work pays, hard work pays, and I put in the work, and that's why I'm sitting at the top. I put
Welcome.
And I get the results from that. So when I was a kid, I used to always visualize stadiums and like even when I was playing football, I'd kick the ball against the wall and I'd
All right, we live. What's going on, family? Welcome to the call. This is our 277th episode. Let some people know to pull up. We always listen to personal development before we get started, right? That's always something we listen to. Conor McGregor is an amazing fighter. He's an amazing father. He's an amazing figure from what I've seen so far, right? I mean, you know, I'm sure the world has things to say. The world has things to say about everybody, right? And so, but just hearing Conor McGregor and his mindset and, you know, how he literally started from nothing, started from the bottom. Nobody believed in him. You know, an Irish man, you know, winning a world championship. You know what I mean? I can relate to that. You know, nobody would think not once that somebody, as young and, you know, it could go do anything in the world, you know what I mean, would come over here in this space, you know, and learn about something brand new like cryptocurrency. You got to think about yourself that way, right? Like nobody thought that you would come over here and be the type of person to plug into this and learn about this stuff, right? But you are breaking the cycle. You know, you're shifting the way that things look. You're shifting the way that things operate. You know, you're shifting the way that the world looks at you. You're shifting the way that the world looks at who you represent, right? You got to really think about it. This play is bigger than just you. It's about who and what you also represent. This is a generational upon generational wealth opportunity. And a lot of people are going to blow it in the first time that they get wealth because they don't have the literacy financially to keep the wealth long term. You know, there's things that we must start talking about, like trust. You know, there's things that we must start talking about, you know, like irrevocable trust, right? Things like that. You know, that we can start to put these assets inside of to be able to protect ourselves, right? I want to inspire and encourage as many of you people as possible to go out here and learn as much as you possibly can, right? About these things, about trust, about these things. Because if you don't, right, your digital wealth and your physical wealth, right, both are at a high level of compromise. Okay. I need everybody to get it together right now. Now, the first video that I'm going to show here in a second, okay, is going to be a prime example, family, as to why every single person out here should 1000%, okay, be figuring out how to safeguard your digital assets on a long-term scale. Okay, it goes beyond just going to get a ledger. It goes beyond getting some sort of wallet. It goes way beyond that. And if you don't realize that, this next video clip is going to show you just that. So I want to say welcome to Coffee and Crypto. Again, family, this is our 277 episode. My name is Vincent Owens. I'm your host each and every single Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. We've been doing this thing for almost 300 episodes. That's literally 3 years. And we have a lot of big things happening in 2025, going into 2026. We have a lot of things to be grateful for, y'all. It is now June 5th, and we have 6 months left until we enter 2026. You got to really ask yourself, what are you doing on the 6th month before 2026? What are you doing 6 months before the 6 months is over to 2026? You know, 2026, okay? We not overcooking the grits. That's my motto. 2026, we eating grits. You know what I mean? That's what we doing. We eating grits in 2026. We going back to the basics. You know, y'all thought we was going to get rich in 2026. No, we back in the basics. I don't think y'all get what I'm saying. You got to stay in phase one. That's what I'm saying. Phase one is what? It's the research. It's the studying. It's the investing when other people don't see it. It's the believing when other people don't believe. It's the reading documentations that others won't read. It's making the natural sacrifice, the unnatural sacrifices that should be natural to upgrade and update your life, right? This is what I mean by we're eating grits. Yeah, we're gonna eating grits on a yacht in the Amalfi Coast, but we can't forget where we came from. That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. Okay. Yeah, we about to get wealthy. Okay. Okay. Shrimp and grits. All right. I'm gonna have an EpiPen right here next to me. Okay. But we eating shrimp and grits. All right. On the yacht. Allergy or not. Okay. We lit in 2026. All right. And I hope that you'll be there. Crawbilly. Now I might be done if I eat some crawfish, man. I don't know. I think shrimp as far as I probably can go, but who knows? All right. But no, I'm just trying to waste a little time and let some people get up here. Thank you so much for the compliment. I like this shirt too. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Somebody asked me the other day, was this Versace? And I said, man, you still eating grits, huh? Because this don't look nothing like Versace, man. I said, my boy's still eating grits. I ain't mad at him. He ain't know it. He didn't know it. He thought this was Versace. He said, boy, is that Versace? I told him, I said, yep, sure enough is. Trying to enter my crypto program, I'll show you how to buy it. Hey, I told him, you want to enter my crypto program? I'll teach you how to get one. No, I'm just playing. I ain't telling him that. But welcome to the call, y'all. I just wanted to give people a little time to get here. It's now almost 10:17, and I'm ready to dive into this content. So the first thing that I'm going to share with y'all, please go share this link out, share this link out with as many people as you possibly can, because they're going to need today's episode, okay? Share it out with everybody, okay? If you know that they're into cryptocurrency and they don't have a place to go right now to watch content, a community to plug into, invite them to Coffee and Crypto Network, because we are here to stay. We ain't going nowhere, and we ain't come to play. With that being said, I want y'all to listen to what they just announced, okay? In California. So all my people that live in California, watch out. Big news that's not so bullish is coming your way. And in all other 49 states, you better pay attention, because this could be something that passes in your state that's very, very frightening.
File item 186, AB 1052 by Assemblymember Valencia. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1052 by Assemblymember Valencia, an act related to digital assets.
Assemblymember Valencia, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, muy buenas tardes, members. AB 1052 will establish a legal framework to legitimize digital assets, also known as cryptocurrency and blockchain, and unclaimed property law. California must protect consumer assets and embrace the legal recognition of digital assets, crypto and blockchain, as we continue to modernize our economy and the systems in our society. With that, I respectfully ask for a yes vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Valencia. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote.
Everybody's yes to it.
We'll close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 69, no 0. The measure passes.
Do y'all know what that measure was for? Okay. After 3 years of inactivity, assets can be taken by the state under unclaimed property laws. Bill now heads to the Senate. California just passed a bill to seize Bitcoin and any crypto that's left sitting idle on an exchange for 3 years plus. I don't know if y'all heard me. That's what California passed. You better get your money into a wallet. They're coming. They're coming for it. If you don't think they can, just go back to Bretton Woods. Okay, go back to when they made gold illegal as tender. It was an illegal tender to hold gold as a regular person. They could do it again. Who's going to stop them? Now, let's listen to Jerome Powell in this clip from 60 Minutes.
The U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path. The U.S. federal government's on an unsustainable fiscal path. And that just means that the debt is growing faster than the economy.
I have the sense this worries you very much.
Over the long run, of course it does. You know, we're borrowing from future generations. It's time for us to get back to putting a priority on fiscal sustainability, and sooner is better than later.
Y'all understand that the U.S. This is a fact. The U.S. national debt is rising $1 trillion every 180 days. Now, I have a question for y'all. How many days? Let's see if y'all know math. How many days right now, roughly, are we in the year? Anybody want to take a wild guess? We halfway through the year, 365 days. Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess how many days? Huh? Okay, well, if you do 365 divided by 2, what's the number? Somebody drop it in the chat box. What's 365 divided by 2? Somebody let me know. I'm not that smart, so I'm just trying to. Oh, 180. It's 180. Oh, wow. So we've added another $1 trillion since the beginning of the year. Let's break this down real quick. Do y'all understand that a million seconds ago, if we counted a million seconds ago, that was May 23rd. Now, if we were to count a billion seconds ago, that was around like 1993, right? Actually, that was May 21st, okay? But now that was around 1993, okay? And then a trillion seconds ago was around 30,000 BC. I don't think y'all get that. So how are we adding $1 trillion worth of debt 180 days? But if you count a trillion seconds from right now, you'd end up somewhere in 30,000 before Christ. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So debt is rising at the speed of, even speeder, it's faster than light. Because a trillion seconds was back in before Christ. That's pretty interesting. Listen up.
We've got huge political influence being purchased by crypto. Coming up here, spending $270 million in Congress, and then look what they're doing for the White House, right? Lock, stock, and barrel. The whole system has been purchased. We have no effective regulation on crypto. So my prediction is we're going to have the mother of all financial crises in this country because of the involvement of crypto in banking and the standard, the stable, the traditional banking sector, and a lot of our pension funds as well. This whole scenario, this whole pattern is why I offered several amendments during the FIT21 bill and the Stable Act bill for a no bailout for crypto bill, just to protect the American people. So we're not on the hook when this goes bad. And none of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle supported those amendments. And that's just insurance, so that what has happened repeatedly over and over again won't happen this time, which is the American people have to pick up the tab. And we won't have the ability, because of the amount of debt we're piling on us, we won't have the ability to step in. So I guess what I'm asking you is tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong, that my fears are unfounded.
Wow. So we're going to have the mother of all financial crisis in this country because of the involvement of crypto. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment. I think that was pretty interesting. It would have been nice to hear the response for sure, right? I think he's wrong.
We've got huge political.
I think he's wrong, but I think also he's right. There's wrong and there's right in what he said. Now, some of the wrong that he said was, to me, is obviously you need political, like if we're a political country, there needs to be a lot of political involvement in this. But I think that there's too much political back and forth things that's, going on. But anyway, I want to move past where we're at right now with politics. And I want y'all to hear from this guy right here now. I didn't know who he was. I just started following him this morning, but his name is Reggie Middleton. Now, he calls himself the disruptor in chief. He said that he founded DeFi. He founded DeFi in 2013. Black man founded DeFi in 2013. Patented foundations of digital finance. These are all of his patents. So, you know me, I'm gonna go and always look it up. Y'all know how we get down, right? Let's go see what this patent is about right here. I wanted to do this fresh. I wanted to do this fresh with y'all. All right, I wanted to do this one fresh. So this is on Google Patents. Okay, and let's see what this patent is about. Now, he had about 7 or 8 patents. We're not going to go through all of them, but if you're interested, you should go and look him up on Twitter and pay attention to his patents. Now, this says devices, systems, and methods for facilitating low trust and zero trust value transfers. Reginald Middleton is the inventor of this. Cryptographic mechanisms or cryptographic arrangements for secret or secure communications. Huh. Wow. Huh. Black man created this, right? Look at this, y'all. Wow. Wow. So that's interesting, right? So anyway, let's go back to Mr. Reggie. So now that you know Mr. Reggie, we just looked at one of his patents. I'm pretty sure it gets deeper, but just wanted to look at one of them. Now that we understand who Mr. Reggie Middleton is and why maybe we should be paying attention to this good brother right here, the godfather of DeFi, as I would probably call him. Let's listen to what the good brother has to say.
I was walking through downtown Manhattan. Here we are, one of the world's most prestigious investment banks. And across the street, the headquarters of one of the world's most prominent financial institutions, payment cards, etc. And I was looking at young professionals walking down the sidewalk. And I was thinking, most of those jobs are going to be gone very, very quickly. As a matter of fact, as AI matures and learns to adopt its true transportation rails, DOT, etc., the concept of job will be obsolete nomenclature. Think about this. If you're not producing value that is readily and aggressively sought, you have no value. So my advice to the young people graduating college, don't think in terms of jobs, think in terms of productivity value. If you think in terms of jobs, you probably will not have one. Okay? Particularly if you are just starting out or if you are one of the older workers and are used to rote memorization and repetitive jobs or repetitive actions. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of other little AI clips and AI pundits who say, if you have a repetitive job, it will be gone, but they don't really explain why. Okay. Creativity, human creativity is one thing that has not been replicated by AI, and it may be a while. What may look like human creativity is just the recollection of a vast pool of human experience and knowledge. To actually create takes something a little different. If you don't know the difference, you're probably one of those people who will be without a job. Okay, so I feel for you people. And also, since I have at least one college-age child, I realize that the schools and universities are still anti-AI. They want to make sure you don't use AI for testing and for homework. Go back to 1995, where schools would say, don't use the internet for your homework, don't use a computer. Let's go back to 1975. Don't use a calculator. They're actually teaching you not to learn the technology that will obsolesce you and your position before you even get into a job. So not only are you looking down the obsolescence barrel, your academic institutions are trying to kick you down that barrel. Think about that.
Wow. All right. Really big. Okay. Really big. Really big. Y'all need to listen up. Okay. Now, value. Ripple is creating the internet of value. They are going to be one of the biggest contributors of the internet of value. ISO 20022 compliant tokens are going to be the rails into the internet of value for messaging standards for the financial markets. Wow. So those are the railroad tracks. Circle, if y'all didn't hear, since yesterday, they have officially IPO'd at $31 per share, valuing stablecoin issuer at $6.9 billion. This is chess, not checkers. And believe me, they can still be acquired even after going IPO. You know what I mean? Companies get acquired all the time. Look at Discover, right? So it may take Ripple a little bit longer, but I think Ripple has done a lot and they have acquired a lot of companies. So I do think that this acquisition could potentially still happen. But just like that, y'all, we have the Circle IPO, which makes Circle the second company right behind Coinbase that is now IPO'd on the New York Stock Exchange. That is huge news for all of us crypto investors. Now, the SEC does come out with some new 2025 guidance on what tokens are and aren't securities, right? So what is the SEC's 2025 guidance? You all may want to go and actually take a look at these things. Okay. The Howey test is a decades-old framework used to determine whether a crypto asset qualifies as security. 4 criteria that the test applies are investments of money, an expectation of profit, a common enterprise, and a reliance on the efforts of others, right? But remember, y'all, the Howey test, they're developing a new framework. So the Howey test is no longer going to be the framework after this new framework has been released, right? And this is what they're talking about pretty much in here, right? So now let's talk about tokens that will likely be deemed as securities, right? So the SEC's 2025 rule says that crypto tokens are likely securities if they act like investment contracts. This means tokens sold with promises of profits driven by a central team's efforts will be categorized as securities. The SEC's 2025 guidance outlines specific scenarios in which crypto tokens will likely be classified as securities. These typical involve projects that are still centrally controlled, promote profit expectations, or offer limited utility at the time of a sale, right? So below are the common characteristics that may trigger security classifications. ICOs with profit-centric marketing, right? Profit-sharing governance tokens, right? Utility tokens with financial incentives, okay? Legal precedents from court rulings. So in the library case, the token was ruled an unregistered security, similar to Ripple case determined XRP. Institutional sales were securities while public sales were not, okay? So, and then tokens with centralized control or pre-mining. So it says legal precedents from court rulings. So this is how they will be classified. So that means library probably will stay the same, but that means XRP still is deemed a non-security. So what are tokens not likely deemed securities by the SEC? Well, fiat-backed stable coins with transparent reserves, RLUSD. Hello. Okay, here we go. Layer 1 utility tokens for network operations. Tokens like Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche are used to pay gas fees and validated transactions, not for profit seeking. So that means layer 1 utility tokens. You all should know what that means. So that means XRP, that means Solana, that means Cardano, that means Hedera Hashgraph. These are layer 1 networks. Lack of profit, marketing, and central control, decentralized and open source government. So this is how, for now on, looks like for now, we're looking at whether something will be deemed a security or not, which is extremely bullish news for us. And I want to say congratulations to everybody that has been sticking to your guns. Now, I want to know something real quick. I want y'all to go find the little devil emoji. Somebody go find the little devil, the little purple devil emoji, because it's about to get real. It's about to get real crazy right now. Okay. I found a document, and the document itself looked like it came from the dungeons of Mordor. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. The dungeons, the document looks like it could have been written by some type of other entity. I ain't lying. Not making this up. I'm gonna show y'all today. I'm about to show y'all today. Pay attention. Now, before we dive into it, I want to read this verse. This is Exodus, the 20th chapter, verses 1 through 3. We're going to read the King James Version. It says, "And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Okay, just wanted to read that because I think it's important to read the word. So let's dive into this. This document is from IBM. It's entitled "The Design of Lucifer, a cryptographic device for data communications." This was written April 15th of 1971, right? And, this is notice of declassification, right? So this is like a very, very top tier. And I want y'all to pay attention to where each one of these are from, right? San Jose, California, Zurich, Switzerland, which we know Davos is in Zurich. Right now, let's look something up right quick. What year was Davos founded? Let's see what year they started. Whoa! Hey! This shit is, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. But this is crazy. Yo, this just took it there. I ain't never did. January 24th, 1971, Davos was created. No. April 15th, 1971, the design of Lucifer, a cryptographic device for data communication. Oh, it's about to get interesting. It's about to get real interesting, to say the least. Let's read the abstract. Lucifer embodies a block cipher cryptographic system by which a data stream of any length is enciphered or deciphered online in groups of 16 bytes under control of a 128-bit cipher key. The system includes a method of message verification in which successive byte groups are linked together by redundant fields under cipher protection. Validity is checked by the matching of these redundant fields after decipherment. Cipher keys, which may be private to each user, are entered either from a plug-in read-only store or from a magnetic stripe card. From a plug-in read-only store or from a magnetic stripe card. What is that? Magnetic stripe card. That's a credit card. Oh, that's a debit card. Okay. So the organization of Lucifer is serial parallel on byte wide, and processing of a 16-character group requires 200 microseconds. The design includes the interface to a 2770 data communication system. This was written April 15th of 1971. Okay. They got different things here. Okay. Good God. The Lucifer algorithm. Let's go to page 23 real quick. All right. We about to dive in this. We about to dive in for a little bit. I want to just dive in. All right, let's see here. Wow. Now we really got that. I'm gonna dive into this document. I ain't gonna play with y'all. I'm gonna dive into this document right here, and we're gonna find some stuff. But this is like, look, y'all, this is the beginning. It was actually, the device was called Lucifer, right? They have been plotting and planning on everything they have done with cryptography since 1971, right? The same year that the World Economic Forum was created. Now, back to Reggie Middleton with another video. I hope you all enjoy.
Concept of universal basic income as some sort of qualifying panacea for the carnage that AI will wreak is grounded in a lack of understanding of human nature and micro and macroeconomics, in my humble opinion. People compete, humans compete, and the dictator of socioeconomic stratification on the economic side was never income, it was always wealth. Okay, so what you would need is basic universal wealth. And even if you are able to produce basic universal wealth, you have competition for that wealth. So those with more wealth will dominate those with less wealth, and so on and so on. So it doesn't really matter if you gave away free money, because that free money would be worth less. Do you understand what I mean?
Do you understand what I mean? Somebody drop some coffee in the chat box. Somebody drop some coffee in the chat box. Tell Mockingbird to fly away, fly, fly, fly away. Talking about coffee ain't good. It ain't good for you, but it's good for me. Hell you talking about? All right. I shall not have any other gods before me. If you really think about it, artificial intelligence is being treated as a god these days. You know, AI is being treated as a god these days. It is God-like. It is, you know, God was meant to be all-knowing, all-seeing, but AI is that on the world right now. It's all-knowing, it's all-seeing, it's all wisdom. We rely on it for everything. We almost pray on it right now, right? We worship it. We study it. See what I'm saying? Or maybe you don't. So I'm gonna move on from that. That might have been a little bit too strong for some people. Okay, I'm gonna move on. All right, so this is from Zbeck Network. Let's get over to some money. This is from Zbeck Network. Cameras rolling at Zbeck London. Interviews and meetings around our next big move. Stay tuned. The tides are only getting stronger. The tides, the ripples, the tides are only getting stronger. Huh. Hey, watch this right here, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention real quick. So this is them sitting up in London right here. I mean, feet kicked up. I mean, big chilling. Okay. Now, they are probably, 40 feet in the air. You know what I mean? 40 stories, not feet, but 40 stories in the air. But I want y'all to pay attention to this little picture right here that they posted. Everybody look. I'm going to zoom in for y'all. because maybe you didn't see it. Look real quick. Look what was right on the outside of the horizon. Look at that, y'all. Citibank, Chase Bank, Barclays, every big institution right in London sit in Riverside. So Vincent, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, what does that have to do with anything? Well, why would they take a picture from that angle with Citi and Chase in the background, right? JP Morgan, Citi, Chase. Pay attention, y'all. ZBAC Network, right? Right? They have a shared vision with XRP, strategic partner with Undo, investment partner with Brayer Capital, okay? USDC integration, Blackstone USDC integration, Circle USD integration, right? There's a payment rail for Visa and a payments partner for JP Morgan. You can look this stuff up and find out for yourself. And remember, they have the ZBAC card. Now, let's talk about ZBAC's growth in May of 2025. Because we're going to look at how they did. Why did they blow up in 2025? Just pay attention. Our May 2025 report shows strong traction across payroll and card volumes, with partial data post-science card acquisition now beginning to flow in. Expect even stronger numbers in the months ahead, right? As full integration takes hold. Right? So if you look at the payroll volume is 20.5 million bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, they're sending out $41 million a month, 11,000 employees served. Enterprise clients, 227. Somebody screenshot this because 6 months from now, I would like to know. We would like to be able to compare, right? Now to then, okay? And how this company is about to grow. Now, if you haven't heard, as of yesterday, the European Central Bank selects XRP Ledger and White Network, which I've actually added White Network to a couple of days ago. I added White Network to my watch list, right? I added White Network to my watch list, and out of nowhere, okay, and I've been looking at getting me some White, okay, but pay attention. Hold on, let me see if I can. Oh, dang, I can't zoom in on that. Let's see here. Shoot. Actually, give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to here it is right here. Actually, I got it right here for y'all. I knew I had it pulled up. So what is White Rock Finance, right? So it's an on-chain brokerage for tokenized equities and bonds. Okay, now let's read this real quick. This is from the European Central Bank Digital Currency Innovation Division. The subject is the Digital Euro CBDC pilot program launch. Okay. The Digital Currency Innovation Division by the ECB hereby announces the commencement of a groundbreaking 12-month digital euro pilot program. This initiative represents a significant milestone in European monetary innovation, utilizing cutting-edge distributed ledger technology to evaluate the feasibility of a European CBDC. Technical infrastructure objectives. Let's read it. They talk about assessment of real-time gross settlement capabilities and cross-border efficiency. The primary platform will be the XRP Ledger by Ripple. The secondary platform will be White Network by White Rock. Program duration is from June of 2025 until May of 2026. Participating institutions, 500 authorized European financial entities. Transaction parameters, a maximum of 10,000 euros per individual transaction. Performance benchmarks, sub 5-second settlement finality, 1,500 plus transactions per second. Hello. Are y'all still with me? All right. And I found this right here, y'all. And this is the Atlantic Council's CBDC tracker. Okay. And I wanted us to be able to go and track this real quick. So pay attention, y'all. This gives you in real time, okay, how everything is going. So there are 3 launched, fully launched CBDCs. They are in Nigeria, as we know, okay? The infrastructure is DLT. The technology partnership is Bit Inc. The second one that is launched is in the Bahamas, okay? The third one that is launched is in Jamaica, okay? There are 44 pilot programs, right? And if you look at each one of these, they give you the partners, infrastructure, DLT. DLT just means what, y'all? XRP. Don't get it mistaken. Don't get it mistaken. Indonesia, we know what? DLT. We got to pay attention to all the countries that Ripple is partnered with, right? Pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Saudi Arabia, infrastructure. What they say? DLT with Project Mbridge. Watch this right here. Project Mbridge. I'm going to show y'all how useful this is for y'all. Project Mbridge XRP. Watch this right here. You're gonna have to dig. I've showed this before on here, but I don't have the document right now. But you know, because on here on Google, it's gonna say potential and things like that, right? They're not gonna give you like a, oh, it's happening, right? But believe me when I say it's happening. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. You know, if you don't have your bags packed and ready, you know, I would suggest that you get it taken care of, right? I would highly recommend. If anybody has anything to say, feel free to unmute. Oh my God. Look right here, y'all. This is on LinkedIn, y'all. This is from Matthew Partridge. I thought I was done. He has an MBA, okay? I don't know how much that means, but he got an MBA, all right? Matthew Partridge. He got an MBA, but he knows something, okay? He wrote this entire thing about Project Mbridge and XRapid, which is a project from XRP. It mentions XRP 9 times in this document, right? It mentions XRP 9 times. Okay. Talks about how MoneyGram leveraged Ripple's XRP for cross-border payments, right? Talks about how over 8 countries, including Japan, Russia, and the UAE, are exploring the use of Ripple's technology. Okay. So you see right here, CBDCs. So if we go back to the central bank digital currency tracker, then as you can see, y'all, oops, I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened, but anyway, yeah. So I'm not sure what happened. I think I might have closed it out by mistake, but either way, y'all, that is my show for today. I hope you got your bags packed. I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all are ready for what is about to come. We got a couple of people that are in the audience. Yo, hey, YouTube is on a whole new level right now. Like, I don't know what's going on YouTube, but shout out to YouTube, man. Getting us out there. Really appreciate y'all. Before y'all leave on YouTube, because we are going to start our Q&A session, but I do want to let you all know that we do have a 7-day free trial for our Discord community. So if anybody is looking for a community, you're looking for a community that you can rely on, that calls out great projects, that does amazing returns. Our community has it. And it ain't just about crypto and making money, but we really are learning this technology for the betterment of our lives If you're interested, you can click the link in the bio on YouTube, my Instagram channel, which is The Vincent Owens. You can follow me there. And we would love to have you join us. And we will welcome you in when we see you come in with open arms. We have multiple calls a week, Zoom calls that we have scheduled out to teach each and every single person and to come together and break bread. So we're very grateful to have you all. And with that being said, I'm going to call on the first person I'm going to call on is my brother Zatrick. Feel free to pop in and pop out, bro.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today, my brother?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Feeling.
Hey, man, an amazing show. I want you to know that, bro. An amazing show. And shout out to the YouTube, man. Shout out to everybody. I sent the link. I don't know if my people hopped in, but I just want to say you guys are doing the right thing by being here, you know. As we are growing in this community of crypto, every day that you're in is better than not being in, if you get what I'm saying, because although I am looking forward to this bull run, I'm looking forward, actually, I'm looking most forward to 5 years from now when everything will be like a full plan throttle and everything. So I just want everybody to know, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, it's not okay. It's not okay to not be in this Discord, because the Discord is probably more valuable or just as valuable as this show, but you really get the gems that we're not talking about on the show. The coins that are below 0.00001, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. And just being able to ask questions that you may not be able to ask on this YouTube channel. So, you know, I just want y'all to know it's never too late to get rich, but this is the place to do it. And the man that is leading the ship is the GOAT, man. I'm gonna call it right now, man. Shout out to you, VO. Peace.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. I heard what he said. Billy, come on up, brother. Feel free.
Hey, good to see you. Just see Vince and Zatrick. Look, guys. Look, man. What's going on? You can't catch up. I mean, you can catch up, but you better get catching up, baby, because all those words that you just used. I mean, I can't put any coffee on the screen from doing all my screenshots for the research I have to do on this afternoon for what I just looked at. But I've been looking at it for years. I went fishing yesterday, Vince. I ain't been fishing in 15 years.
Wow.
Sitting on the river. I told the guy, I said, I'm gonna check my stuff real quick. Hang on, well, hit a shade tree. I said, look, man, I'm up 100 or so. It's fun to go fishing and make money. What happened? Because I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to really, you know, I have some friends that have businesses that have employees. Of course, they make money. But man, all those expenses and all those responsibilities. I mean, just being responsible for your bank, being responsible for your wallet, and learning about what to do and what not to do it's enough challenge for me. I don't need 15 employees and get a food truck every 30 seconds or so. I mean, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for fishing money. I like that. That was fun to think about, fishing money. And you know, the ZBEC thing, okay, look, I had a friend yesterday, 2 examples real quick, and I go, one friend is in his 30s, and he bought ZBEC he put $1,000 on ZBEC at 68 cents. Now, I don't say that's bad or good, I don't know. But the thing is that I sold it at 68 cents and put enough in my little account to carry me fishing. Because I knew when to get in, when to get out, and I learned that by what was that word we used last week? We used a word last week about the opportunity about I can't think of it. I'll post it one day, but it's like you have to risk it. I mean, I lost some money learning how to make money. Can you believe that? I lost money in the restaurant learning what not to cook and what failed. And advertisement. I lose money every day. People lose money learning how to make money, right? Don't you think? And that's what we're doing here. I mean, I spent an hour with you today. I got 60 screenshots to go back and look at. I put some coffee in the chat box. If I'd have been on YouTube, I'd have hit the like button. I hope everybody's doing that. But it's important. It's a lot to do. That little song, if you don't know us by now, you may never know us. It applies because you have to pay attention and you have to be in it to win it. I mean, I told the guy, I said, if you just knew how to read the chart, he said, what do you think it's going to do? I said, it doesn't matter what I think it's going to do because you have to believe to hit that button. I told I bought a microwave this weekend, a black gentleman behind the counter, man. He was super sharp. I told him about hitting the button. He you know, how do you make your money? I said, let me show you. And I went, hit the counter. He said, what's that? Is that hitting a button? I said, yeah, that's hitting a button. Hitting the button on, hitting the button off, doing a gold trade, doing a whatever, seeing it go up and down, hitting the button. That is, I don't know, it's so interesting. I talked to a 70-year-old yesterday I went fishing with. He said he wanted to learn about crypto, but he's older now, and he's set in his ways. So I got 3 people I talked to this week. All of them got different opinions and stuff. All of them on a separate part of life. But if we all learn how to hit that button, and kind of that's what it is, to educate yourself, get your button on above your eyeballs going, learn something, educate yourself, buy something if you have to, lose something if you have to, just do something. It's not Ziegler. Who's that guy we love? Jim Rohn. Golly, man, I'll tell you what, that boy, he put it on you quick, and he's been dead for decades, right? It's like, and you just learn so much if you just jump in. You don't even have to hit any buttons. I mean, you can hit some imaginary paper trade buttons. You don't have to lose money. You can just get in on paper trading and learn it. Look, I'm gonna slide out, but look. Thank you. Again.
Thank And my boy Jose said he is selling tamales. Who ready for placing the order? Hey, I need me some tamales, Jose. You already know. hey, I got my order for some tamales, Jose. Yes, sir. Jose, I need those, bro. I need the tamales. John need a plate too. John need a plate of tamales too, man. Don't forget John. We need tamales, man, at the blockchain center, Jose. Please pull up, bro. Pull up, bro. Exactly. You gotta have a side hustle. Hey, listen. Listen, if I give you some tamale money for you to go buy some more crypto, believe me. All right. I got you, bro. I'm excited, man. I need that, bro. I need some tamales, man. Chicken beef, what we doing? We doing chicken or beef. All right. But I don't know what else to say, y'all. I'm good. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. To all my boot camp members, week 2 does start on Monday. So I'll see y'all for week 2. It's gonna be a quick 6 weeks. We're gonna learn a lot. The video from last night's call will be uploaded today. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, have an amazing rest of your day. Look, this is the last thing I gotta say. Support somebody's business today. Go out and support a small business today. You know, whatever that means, you know, to you, go out and support someone's small business today, because they need it. You know, they need it. And you was gonna go spend some money anyway. So go spend with a small business, support somebody local, and just live by that principle, you know. But I love y'all. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all on the next.